Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Ma'at hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our podcast today. We are so pleased that you are with us. Shout out to the beloved Black family here in America and around the world. My name is Vicki Dillard, and we're here weekdays right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Shout out to our brothers that's also holding us down in the digital building. We're so thankful that you are with us today. I want to say a shout out to my Instagram family also. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. By the way, Instagram, I want you all to get ready to come on over to FlyNubianQueenTV.com here momentarily, because I'm going to need to use this device, beloved. Black family, I can't wait till we get into our topic today so that I can discuss with you the abomination, a blasphemous statement, a telling statement that one of your current sitting U.S. congresspersons has made. Are y'all hearing me today? So anyway, Black family, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Be sure to like and share, especially if you're watching us live on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please like and share and follow. Shout out to you, Silent D Production, for the first gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. He says, the docket is hot today. Judge Vicki. I know that's right, beloved. We're holding court as always on the Vicki Show. Somebody talk black to me. Anyway, family, make sure that at the bottom of your screen that you hit the share button, that you copy the link, and that you hit the share button and share it out on other platforms as well. Let folks know that the Vicki Show is on right now. Thank you so much for doing that. And another quick thing here, I want you to know that we have a store at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com, where you can receive all kinds of Black apparel. Shopfnq.com. Now that we have gotten a little bit of our housekeeping out of the way, I want us to get ready to get into a statement that one of your white Republican congressmen said about slavery. And certainly it's no surprise, but we must discuss why it's important that he said this. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said years ago that the mask of white civility is going to be taken off. The mask of white civility. So in other words, the niceties, the manners, the veneer of politeness and respect that your open enemies, members of the dominant society that are responsible for the continued torture of foundational Black Americans, descendants of American slaves, the current and present Black Holocaust survivors, the Holocaust that's exceeded the length of any other and is still going on today, unrepaired. I want you to listen to what he said here in just a moment. Now, this mask of white civility that's being taken off and ripped off by our open enemy, it's important. In fact, it was prophesied. It was spoken of long ago that it must happen this way. So I don't want you, Black family, to be taken aback or to be discouraged by what you're seeing. I want you to know it is written. And it points to an extraordinary transfer of power. Indeed, we are experiencing the changing of the gods. When I'm talking about a god, I'm discussing one with what? Force and power, right? One with force and power. Is that right? Watch this. Those in power today are ruling the world by fraud, by lies, by theft, by bloodshed, by white supremacy. That world. Somebody say bye-bye. Can I get some hand waving in the chat? Somebody please put me a waving emoji. Bye-bye. That world is going out. And somebody say thank God. But it's a stressing situation. It's a fearful situation for your open enemies, especially since some of their numbers biologically is dwindling. Their birth rates are decreasing. Your Karens and your Beckys and your Gretchens, they're unable to bring their babies to full fruition. In vitro fertilization and so forth. A lot of that has to do with them. The fertility clinics, it's all through their neighborhoods. Is that right? While the abortion clinics are in yours. God, today, are y'all listening? That's by design. Their demographers, their statisticians, their scientists are telling them that their time is about up. Biologically. So they're doing everything that they can to hold on to dear life. But what they don't recognize is that the quantum speed in which they're exiting our planet. Whose planet? God, today. We've been so kind to graciously share it with everybody else. But they're expediting their exit from our planet, and it's increasing in momentum because of their unwillingness to cease and desist Black oppression. When you double down on your savagery, when you double down on injustice, baby, you're expediting your exodus. You coming up out of here. Y'all tripping about climate change. Well, that's written too. For example, in the book of Romans, it declares that even creation is moaning, it's groaning. What? For the manifestation of the sons of God to be revealed in the earth. It's our planet. And seeing that it's our planet is helping us. Shout out to you, HP, for your $50 gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. HP says Black Eye Protocol. I know that's right. Now, Vicki, get on with the get on. So the powers that shouldn't be. Shout out to you, Major, for your gift. Yes. The powers that shouldn't be. Some of them know, the wise among them know. But the others are sensing something subconsciously. So some know consciously, some know subconsciously that something is wrong and their time is up. They're getting ready to get out of here. They're hearing a ticking in the sound of their right ear. They hear the sound of a clock. There's a countdown, beloved, that they hear that you don't hear, Black family. You're wondering what's going on. But there is a clock. There's a sound in their right ear that they're ever aware of. And it's also written in the book of Revelation. Can I just connect some dots here for you? Can I just get metaphysical with you? It's written also in the book of Revelation. Does it not say that the devil has come down and makes havoc on the earth because he knows that his time is short? See, some of you didn't know that the book was about you. You didn't know that the scriptures were scripted about you. You didn't know that a majority, at least 75% of what you read in the book is actually spoken of in algorithms. It's got to be decoded, and that it's actually about you, and only about a quarter of the book is historical. Their time is short. Now, Vicki, read. So we're seeing all kinds of wild, white rage manifestations. It's quite episodic. It's quite episodic. Okay, Instagram, come on over to flynewqueentv.com. I gave y'all a chance to get on over here because I'm going to need to use this device so I can break down everything and read, get my sources off of this device. Thank you so much, Instagram, flynewqueentv.com. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, okay? You can follow me on Instagram, Black family, at Vicki X Dillard. And it would be my pleasure to see you there. Now, while I finish posting this, I want you on the count of 3, for those of you that have it, on the count of 3 to hit that thumbs up button, would you? Hit that thumbs up button. That way we can draw other folk into our broadcast. Shout out to you, cuz wa alaikum salam, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Are you hearing me today? Now watch this. Let's get in to what this little Tom COTTON has said. Does anybody notice anything unusual about my little garden set behind me today? I'm going to need y'all to connect the dots. Does anybody notice anything unusual about the set behind me today? Now, Republican Congressman Tom, y'all so smart, COTTON. That's his last name, Tom COTTON. Well, Tom COTTON, I got to get me a Cotton song going. Tom COTTON, I'm reading from The Guardian. The Guardian covers this piece that just went down a couple of days ago. This one is written on the 26th. Tom COTTON calls slavery, quote, necessary evil, an attack on the New York Times 1619 project. So a man with the name Cotton, God today. See, I keep some cotton, but I keep the cotton as a reminder of the ancestors. I keep that in my filming area as a reminder of why I do what I do, as a symbol of that. Are y'all hearing me today? So Tom COTTON, it says, the Arkansas Republican Senator Tom COTTON has called the enslavement of millions of African people, quote, the necessary evil upon which the Union was built. COTTON, widely seen as a possible presidential candidate in 2024, made the comment in an interview with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette published on Sunday. Are y'all hearing me? He was speaking in support of legislation he introduced on Thursday that aims to prohibit use of federal funds to teach the 1619 Project, an initiative from the New York Times that reframes U.S. history around August 1619 and the arrival of slave ships on American shores for the first time. Cotton's Saving American History Act of 2020, that's actual legislation he's proposing. Saving American History Act of 2020 is what it's called. And, quote, would prohibit the use of federal funds to teach the 1619 project by K through 12 schools or school districts, according to a statement from the senator's office. The entire premise of the New York Times factually, historically flawed 1619 project is that America is at root a systemically racist country to the core and irredeemable, Cotton told the Democrat Gazette. I reject that root and branch. America is a great and noble country, founded on the proposition that all mankind is created equal. We have always struggled to live up to that promise, but no country has ever done more to achieve it. He added, we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country, because otherwise we can't understand our country. As the founding fathers said, it was the necessary evil upon which the Union was built. But the Union was built in a way, as Abraham Lincoln said, to put slavery on the course to its ultimate extinction. Did you all hear that madness? Good thing I'm here to come to Mr. Cotton's rescue. Somebody say Cotton. Isn't it a bit of synchronicity today? Our ancestors have a beautiful way of doing things. That someone, Lily White, somebody say Lily, somebody say Lily, Lily, someone Lily White, who's in the halls of Congress. Family, who built the White House? Family, who built the Capitol? Isn't it a bit of synchronicity that Lily would fix his lips to commit blasphemy, but at the same time tell truth? That slavery was a necessary evil. Someone with the name Cotton is getting pushed back because of something he said about slavery. God, today. Senator Cotton says this again, quote, I'm quoting him. He says, we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country, because otherwise we can't understand our country. Well, somebody please send this link to Senator Cotton and send it to the Republican Party as well as the Democratic Party and let them know that Vicki is here for the rescue. Since Mr. Cotton says we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country, he says, because otherwise we can't understand our country. I'm here to rescue you, Mr. Cotton. Somebody talk black to me. I'm going to oblige that request. It's also, though, family, not lost on me that these campers, these congressional campers today, are putting forward legislation to stop proper education on slavery, on the enslavement of African people. So that he can engage in a form of revisionist history. What is revisionist history? Revisionist history is just a fancy word for white people lying about the past. So whenever you look up that word revisionist history, this is the definition from the dictionary. Other dictionaries are going to give you a real fluffy definition. But revisionist history just means they're lying about the past to cover up their savagery and to keep the lie of white supremacy going. So now that you know what he said, keep in mind that the legislation, Saving American History Act, think about the title of that. Saving American History Act. That's the name of the legislation that this lily white congressman is putting forward. Saving American history. He's wanting to prevent this 1619 project that this sister Nicole Hannah Jones wrote. Now, I don't have any problem with the sister, but she blocked me some months ago. Somebody blocked me. 1619 lady. Wasn't nothing personal about her. I was tweeting something and I was generally speaking about bones and biscuits and trying to ensure that they have a strong stance when they're on MSNBC, because she's often on MSNBC now. And so Tremaine Lee of MSNBC, he actually called me. Shout out to Tremaine Lee on MSNBC. He called me and I talked black to him too. It was respectful, but I talked black to him too. Because, you know, I given him some appropriate and proper criticism, respectfully. But he didn't think that the, you know, phrase bones and biscuits was cool. But sister girl, she blocked me and stuff. And so after she blocked me, and I'm not dissing the sister, I'm just keeping it real, she came over to my Instagram page at Vicki X Dillard after I put up a post. And she said some stuff that just wasn't true. So I just asked her, I said, ma'am, you blocked me on Twitter. I asked her, please do the same on Instagram if you're going to come to my page on Instagram and lie. Just tell the truth. You're welcome to disagree on my page. Just don't be lying like that on the page. You block me on Twitter, but then you come to my Instagram page. And again, it wasn't nothing personal like that. I was just talking about, generally speaking, black folks being strong and not letting white folk, you know, get away with certain talking points on mainstream television. So she took offense to that and she blocked me. Well, anyway, Nicole Hannah Jones, it says, was awarded this year's Pulitzer Prize for commentary for her introductory essay for the 1619 Project, said on Friday that Cotton's bill speaks to the power of journalism more than anything I've ever done in my career. I'm not going to go on and talk about what she said, but I appreciate the 1619 Project because even though I disagree with maybe some of her politics and how she does things, what I can appreciate is that the story of our enslavement and guilty white people is being put out there. I can appreciate that. Are y'all hearing me today? So notwithstanding the fact that she blocked me, Black voices, that's what I don't understand. But I'm still going to say shout out for the 1619 Project, the parts of it that's true, and the fact that this conversation about slavery and the enslavement of African people and foundational Black Americans, descendants of American slaves, those of us who are Black Holocaust survivors, this is still another seed of our story being told. So that's why I say shout out to that. That's happening because we, the Black grassroots, that's happening because conscious folk like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the seeds that he's been sowing over many decades, along with others, we've kept this thing alive. We've made it mainstream. Somebody talk black to me. So that's the reason why they're talking about it. But they're talking about it in the mainstream now so that they can control it. God today. But we're not going to let you all limit it. We're going to stay on top of the story. It's our story. Shout out to you, Big Lou, for your $50 gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. He said it was prophesied that we would go into slavery and turn our backs on God. But anyway, thank you, beloved, for your kind gift. I missed some of what you said here. But thumbs up, family. Thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. But now that I've said that, let me come to Senator Cotton's rescue. I believe in rescuing Mr. Cotton and stuff. Let me rescue him. How, Vicki? Well, once again, shout out to you, Erica. I love you back. Cotton said he's worried about this curriculum, y'all. He says, let me tell you this part too that he said. Let me go back to this part. Don't forget he said this. This lily white Tom Cotton senator, Republican senator, is making a bill called Saving American History Act of 2020. They're trying to lie about the past, family. He's trying to prevent the use of federal funds, don't forget that will teach the 1619 project by K through 12 schools or school districts. They don't want our stories told. This is another example, family, of the war of words. Them trying to control what we think and what we know. Because they know that if you're educated properly, if you know your story, and if you know what they did, watch this. You still won't be able to pick up on this kind of a man, this mankind that's masquerading as if he's a man, the original man. They don't want you to peep their beastly behavior, their barbarism. The only reason they don't want the truth of slavery to be taught is because that's going to point to their sick nature. Keep going, Vicki. Watch this. What did he call it? Don't forget what he said, family. Don't forget one of the most important parts of what he said. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas said that the enslavement of millions of African people, quote, was a necessary evil upon which the Union was built. He claimed he was quoting one of the founding fathers, but he was in agreement with it when you read the tweet and the context of it. The necessary evil. This congressman said that slavery was the necessary evil upon which this Union, America, was built. Keeping that in mind, do you guys remember a few months back? I'm reading to you now from Courier Journal. Actually, it's been about a year. Mitch McConnell said, quote, Mitch McConnell said, we paid for, quote, the sin of slavery by electing Obama. How many of you all remember Mitch McConnell out of Kentucky with his funny looking self? How many of you all remember that he said that? I'm going to quote him here. Mitch McConnell said, when they was asking him about reparations, listen, when asked about reparations for slavery on the eve of a House hearing on the issue, again, this was last year, McConnell said reparations, quote, for something that happened 150 years ago, for whom none of us currently living are responsible, were not a good idea. That's a quote from him. Besides, listen to what else Mitch McConnell said. He says, besides, he suggested acts such as electing Barack Obama as president could be considered a form of compensation. White folks got some nerve, don't they? Mitch McConnell, watch this. Your founding fathers, as evidenced through the statement and agreement of Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, said what? That slavery was a necessary evil upon which this union was built. But I was reminding you of last year, some months ago, when Mitch McConnell, the House, the Senate leader, was asked about reparations. He said something that happened 150 years ago. He said, for which none of us currently living are responsible. He said wasn't a good idea. He says, besides, he said electing Barack Obama as president could be considered a form of compensation. White folks got a hell of a nerve. They telling us that electing Obama is reparations. I did a show about that. Which is why I never voted for Obama. Not because I had a personal issue with Obama before he became president, but it was because I knew that he was being used as a white face, as a black face for white supremacy. And I was 100% correct. And Mitch McConnell is proving that because they're letting us know that by electing Barack Obama, what did he suggest? That is reparations for you all. I did a show the other day on one of my other platforms on African Diaspora News Channel where I was quoting a Becky on Twitter. A Becky on Twitter had the nerve the other day to say that she was hearing a lot of chatter about reparations, but she says, don't we know that those who fought in the Civil War gave their lives? So she said them fighting for us, them fighting the Civil War, she said that was reparations. And of course, you know, I had to give Becky some work. I had to give Gretchen some work by explaining to her, fool, we shed black blood during all y'all's wars. Slowness. And you're still enjoying and benefiting from our enslavement. Moreover, the Civil War was not fought to free slaves. The Civil War was fought, fool. And Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which, by the way, was extraordinarily limited. And it was tantamount to or equal to an executive order because there was no way he would be able to pass that through Congress at the time. But Lincoln signed that for political expediency. The folks in the North was just as racist as those in the South. Those in the North were jealous of those in the South because the South had so many slaves. They were counting the slaves at one time for political expediency. So they were able to have greater representation and they were dominating in government because they were able to count those numbers. One of the agreements that they came to was considering slaves or the enslaved of African people as what? 3/5 of a human being. That was for political purposes. And they were also jealous, the North, of the South's very extraordinary wealth that they managed to get because of slavery. So to stop that, you don't count those one or two white Quakers that really felt bad about enslaving human beings, because we're the only ones that really qualified as being human. Somebody talk black to me. But the majority of America still wanted slavery, and they only fought it to prevent the South from growing in power and wealth. Now that I've said all that, let me move on. Senator Tom Cotton recently said that it was a necessary evil, right? Upon which this union was built. I reminded you that even the House Speaker of the Senate, the House Leader of the Senate said what? A year ago, that it was America's original sin. And that y'all's reparations is Obama. But you all do understand that because Obama was elected, the backlash for electing this black man, white folks were still really ticked off about it. One of the reasons why they elected a credibly alleged rapist and racist in chief, a criminal and a failed businessman, a cheating businessman, let's call him, is because of backlash. They excused all of that because they elected a black man not once but twice. Do you all understand that? Thumbs up, family. Now that I've made that point, let me oblige our little friend, Tom Cotton. Tom says that slavery was a necessary evil. Well, Tom, since you say that slavery is a necessary evil, we deduce from that comment that reparations, God, today, is also necessary. I'm going to need somebody black to talk black to me. So we want to put in the chat today, cut the check. What's also necessary, Tom Cotton, is cut the check. What's also necessary, Mr. Cotton. Mr. Cotton, what's also necessary? You can't have a name like Cotton and talk about slavery with your funny looking self. What's also necessary? See, you all think that this is just some material that comes up out the earth to make your shirts. No, baby, this is also money. Mr. Cotton, what's necessary is cut the check, baby. Vicki, let's just give him some receipts, would you? Okay, let me put the cotton. I'm going to keep it within proximity. How about that? Thumbs up, family. On the count of 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share wherever you're watching us on. Would you do that? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I want to let you know, family, that this mask of white civility that's coming off is what 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2, verse 3, and verse 4 is talking about today. Keep on giving us a thumbs up, liking and sharing, family. Y'all go hard to let everybody know that the Vicki Show is on right now. Again, I'm here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. I'm so pleased that you're with us today. Again, my name is Vicki Dillard. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. What does 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 say? It says in the Darby translation that ye be not soon shaken in mind nor troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as if it were by us. Listen, as the day of the Lord is present. Are y'all hearing me? The day of the Lord is present. Let not anyone deceive you in any manner. What day is it? The day of the Lord. Don't get crazy spooky. When I tell you that the black man is God, you got to believe me today. When I tell you that we're the direct descendants of the supreme God, you got to believe me today. Let not anyone deceive you in any manner, because it will not be unless the apostasy have first come and the man of sin have been revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself on high against all called God. Or object or object of veneration, so that he himself sits down in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. God being what? One with force and power. Somebody talk black to me. The war of the gods. But back to Mr. Cotton, who says, that the enslavement of African people was, a quote, the necessary evil upon which the Union was built. That same Cotton said that we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country. Okay, so let me go ahead and make his wish come true. Let's study the history of slavery, Mr. Cotton. I want to refer you, Mr. Cotton, to a very powerful book entitled How White Folks Got So Rich, God, today. Somebody talk black to me. May I just go ahead and break it down for you, family? This is a space for intelligent black people, so I'm going to get ready to give you some receipts. So get ready to buckle your seatbelts. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. This is what it's all about today. Mr. Cotton and Cotton. That's what it's about today. I love how this book starts with the title, even in the first chapter, where it says working hard or hardly working. Are we talking about welfare queens? Are we talking about lazy brothers that refuse to work for white folk for free anymore? Because you all know that's the only time they start calling us lazy. when slavery was outlawed, and when they had to actually compensate us for labor, that's when white folks came up with the lie that we're lazy. Somebody talk black to me. So usually when you hear these kinds of phrases, what comes to mind? Working hard or hardly working? Is it us? No, baby. Listen. I love that. I'm going to skip through. The writer says, the fact is that since the end of legalized slavery, y'all please listen. The fact is that since the end of legalized slavery, whites have cunningly employed every mechanism of government, religion, private enterprise, specifically to hamstring black prospects for success. And some of America's institutionalized injustices were devilishly ingenious. All sectors of American society harmonized to institute a series of affirmative action initiatives that gave white people exclusive material advantages, and none have anything whatever to do with either merit or hard work. So who's the original welfare queen? Who's the corporate welfare kings today? Somebody talk black to me. By gangster force and wily deception, whites aggressively sabotaged black advancement. They employed domestic terrorism in the form of lynching and mob violence while simultaneously crafting policies and laws to gift themselves a vast assortment of privileges, preferences, incentives, subsidies, tax breaks, grants, awards, discounts, exemptions, credits, quotas, deductions, and countless other benefits, hoarding the nation's vast resources along strictly racial lines. Somebody say how white folks got so rich. Tom COTTON. For some reason, I can't see my comments on my laptop right now. But thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Now, y'all listening? Are y'all thinking of all the assortment of ways that our open enemy has gifted themselves? Are y'all hearing me? Keep listening, family. Listen. I'm sure you guys can think of some ways too, but watch this. Listen what it says. Since America likes to quote Dr. King all the time, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King asked, why does white America delude itself? And how does it rationalize the evil it retains? So white people, when you're quoting Dr. King, quote that. He concluded. Are y'all ready for what he concluded? He concluded quite harshly that white people's belief in the fairness of America, are y'all ready for this quote from Dr. King? Is a fantasy of self-deception and comfortable vanity. There aren't enough white persons in our country who are willing to cherish democratic principles over privilege. God today, somebody say shout out to the real Dr. King. We're not talking about the manufactured whitewash Dr. King, who you call selective statements that fit your white supremacist agenda. No, baby. We like this Dr. King right here, who says, and I quote, there aren't enough white persons in our country. No matter how sweet, no matter how many of y'all claim that you're in the streets with us for a photo op, because you want us to feel like that not all of y'all are from outside. Somebody talk like that. Dr. King says there aren't enough white persons in our country who are willing to cherish democratic principles over privilege. Y'all better listen to this. I wish I could see y'all's comments right now. Let me see if I can see them on my device here. While I'm doing that, family, don't forget clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Tomorrow, you're going to have direct access to me as I answer questions, and I'm going to drop a few metaphysical or spiritual principles in my mastermind, my exclusive VIP mastermind class, clubvicki.com. Somebody put it in the chat, clubvicki.com. Listen. I want you to hear this quote, clubvicki.com, please. Now, this is not Dr. King now, but listen to this. We're helping Tom Cotton today. Tom Cotton said that we needed to be educated about slavery, right? Y'all send him to send all these people these links. Quote, nothing has been more profitable than racism. Not platinum, not gold, not oil. This book backs up what I have told you all since I've been on different platforms. I have told you from the beginning that everything that is wrong in the whole wide world is directly or indirectly to the enslavement of Black people in America and around the world. I know everybody is talking about everything else, but the news that you're getting about slavery and racism, there is nothing else to talk about in war. Until Black folks are seated in the place of power, until that old world of white supremacy, of bloodshed, of lies, of devastation, of destruction and torture is over, there is nothing else to talk about. We're in tax season right now that they've extended because of COVID. Didn't I draw some connections for you, Black family, some weeks back about how even accounting was reshaped because of slavery? Stocks, bonds, and insurance. Wall Street, the actual wall that was built by slaves. We can't talk about entertainment. We can't talk about inventions. We can't talk about nothing without those tentacles of racism somehow in some way being involved in it. Y'all listen to me today. I know everybody is talking about a whole bunch of stuff. You can't even talk about sports and football without there being an element of racism involved. Whether it's through quote unquote owners, the ability to be traded, the fact that they check your body as if you were going up on the auction block to be checked. Are y'all hearing me today? There is no area medically. Get the book called Medical Apartheid. There is no area that you can discuss, baby. I want to enjoy my TV show. Well, let's talk about blackface today. Let's talk about Birth of a Nation. Let's talk about the White House. Let's talk about the Capitol. God, today, there is no area. There is nothing else to talk about because we're at war and because this world of white supremacy has not exited yet in a substantive enough way to where we dominate and we control. There's nothing else to talk about. You can't talk about life insurance, baby, without talking about racism and slavery. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. Let's get back to it. Again, I'm reading How White Folks Got So Rich, the untold story of American white supremacy. Listen, I've told you, Tom Cotton acknowledges the fact that it's a necessary evil, he says. He said he was quoting one of the founding fathers about the necessary evil of slavery to build the Union. And then I reminded you that who? Your majority leader in the Senate last year, when the discussion of reparations came up, said what? What did he say, y'all? Yeah, we fought the Civil War. That's a part of your reparations. And the election of Obama. But this book here says what again? Nothing has been more profitable than racism. Not platinum, not gold, not oil. From the executive, judicial, and legislative branches of government to private enterprise of every type. From the media to the labor unions to the religious institutions. Some of you, there's a lot of black folks that are in high-level positions in some of your unions. And a lot of you black folks love the fact that you get to say you union leaders and stuff. And I ain't dissing it now. But how did unions get started, black family? Do you know how unions got started, black family? Do you all know how even unions got started? I'm mentioning that because what does this book say? It says there's no area in government, executive, judicial, legislative branches of government to private enterprise of every type, from the media to the labor unions to the religious institutions. All have agreed on one thing. The white race must prevail always and always by any means necessary. Labor unions, because white folks were not the ones that was doing the labor. Right? Slavery forced them to actually have to go to work. Those welfare kings and queens, they had to learn how to do trade and stuff because we was doing everything so that they knew we would dominate in any job or discipline. So they wanted to rig the systems in the workplace through unions to make sure that they had the leg up. It was a type of affirmative action for these campers. God today. Listen. Mr. Tom Cotton, who said that racism, that slavery was a necessary evil upon which the Union was built. He said it was necessary evil. Somebody say, so is our check. Somebody say, so is reparation. Somebody say, cut the check. That's what's necessary today. Listen, watch this. On page 22, it discusses the fact that everything in the Western world, in cities, institutions, and wealth, is built on the profits of black slavery. I just love to get confirmations of stuff that I tell you all the time. Listen, Paris, Rome, Amsterdam, Seville, Lisbon, London, New York, Seville. Name the place and its riches. Name the place and its riches are the spoils of the greatest criminal endeavor in the history of the universe. I ain't never gonna stop talking about us, black family, until we're seated. And all the books ever written were dedicated solely to the subject. They could only begin to elaborate on the dreadful fact. According to leading sociologist Joseph Fegan, quote, the sum total of the worth of all black labor stolen by whites through the means of legal slavery, legal segregation, and contemporary racial discrimination is truly staggering. He talks about even perhaps up to $24 trillion. But I want to tell you something here as I stop for a quick moment to read you something else that your funny looking Tom Cotton, Republican senator out of Arkansas said. Tom Cotton also said in this article that I'm reading from the Guardian now, Tom Cotton also said we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country. Well, Black family, I'm getting ready to give you more receipts on not only the impact of this country, but the world. You see? He says, as the founding fathers said, as who? Tim Cotton? What did he say, family? Tim Cotton says, and I'm quoting him, he says, as the founding fathers said, it was the necessary evil upon which the Union was built. But the Union was built in a way, as Abraham Lincoln said, to put slavery on the course to its ultimate distinction. They're justifying. But he said that the founding fathers said this, right? Tim, Mr. Cotton, you can't have a name like Tim Cotton and talking about slavery. Watch this. Mr. Cotton, take a look at this picture. Can you all see that? Mr. Cotton, take a look at that picture. Remember, he invoked the founding fathers, didn't he? Didn't he, family? I read you a quote from him. He invoked the founding fathers, but they funny looking selves. Y'all see him right there. This picture that you're seeing says U.S. presidents and the Black Africans they enslaved. George Washington, it says, net worth was $580 million. Your founding fathers. They said he had 350 slaves. You all remember one time the other reports show that he had even less than that and that his wife had even more. But according to this book written by Black people, How White Folks Got So Rich, with numerous receipts and references, they said his net worth was $580 million. 350 slaves. Andrew Jackson, it says net worth was 131,200,000 slaves. Thomas Jefferson's net worth, 234,200,000 slaves. I need somebody Black to be taking this tally. Y'all know I can't see what's going on right now in the chat on my screen here. James Madison's net worth, 112,106 slaves. John Tyler, 75 slaves. James K. Polk, 25 slaves. Zachary Taylor, 150 slaves. Ulysses S. Grant, 5 slaves. James Monroe, 75 slaves. Martin Van Buren, 1 slave. William Harrison, 11 slaves. Andrew Johnson, 8 slaves. Y'all listen. These founding fathers he's talking about, that's just a few. Listen. What a Black labor. What did Tom Cotton say, family? What did Tom Cotton say? He says that we needed to study the history of slavery. Listen. And its role and impact on the development of our country. Okay, Tom. Black labor was believed to be so essential to the Western advancement that whites built thousands of ships over hundreds of years, sailing them thousands of miles over treacherous oceans, instigating brutal wars for the capture of indigenous Africans and bringing those kidnapped victims back thousands of miles to the Americas to be sold in the open market, all for the purpose of forcing lifelong labor from them and their descendants forever and ever. Keep hitting that thumbs up button, family. Don't forget clubvicki.com, my exclusive mastermind class that I'm going to be doing again tomorrow on Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Direct access to me where I'll be answering your questions. You don't want to miss it. Listen. Those Africans were by no means savages, Mr. Cotton, which is a lie we know that's been advanced by numerous historians, quote unquote historians, seeking to justify the atrocity. A close reading of the newspaper advertisement placed by American slave traders reveals where are we getting these receipts? From newspaper advertisement placed by American slave traders revealing that Blacks were skilled artisans. God, I wish I could see y'all's comments. See if I can pull up my other device. Saying what? that they were skilled artisans and craftsmen at the highest level. How many times have I told you that you're the mothers and fathers of civilization? Slave sale ads placed in American newspapers show the casual selling of Africans with skills as engineers. Y'all better talk black to me. I said, y'all better talk black to me. Engineers, carpenters, cowboys, shipbuilders, mechanics, stonemasons, blacksmiths, seamstresses, herbalists, weavers, shoemakers, and chefs. Black slave laborers built America's infrastructure, including its buildings, roads, bridges, and railways. You know how everybody loved to talk about the other immigrants that they brought over here to help with the railroads and stuff? Yeah, y'all had a couple of them come over here. But we laid the major foundation of it because y'all want to give everybody credit but us. We was doing so much. The blackness, the glory of the blackness, the genius of the blackness, the godness of the blackness was so overwhelming. You tried to distill it and to dilute it by bringing any and everybody over here to put them in the mix and to give them credit for stuff. Because when you did your inventory, when you did your accounting about how white folks got so rich and how the whole world benefited, black folks had everything to do with everything. Somebody talk black to me. It was overwhelming. So y'all would give credit to any and everybody. Y'all would bring other people over here too to act like that they were the ones that thought it all up. Somebody talk black to me. When I tell you, black family, that everything that's wrong in the whole wide world is directly or indirectly related to the mistreatment of God's people, I mean exactly what I say. When I tell you how extraordinary and amazing you are, y'all better talk black to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Don't forget to check out our store. I'm drinking out of a mug that you can get at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com, where you can get t-shirts that says talk black to me and everything. Book bags, all kinds of apparel. Somebody talk black to me. Getting a little chilly, but somebody talk black to me. Listen. Watch this. Watch this. Black slave laborers built America's infrastructure. What did I say? I just like to repeat this because we're just so amazing. Buildings, roads, bridges, railways, just as they had built the pyramids in Egypt thousands of years before. And then gave civilization to the Europeans. What did we do, y'all? We gave civilization. See, in school, this is the reason why Tom Cotton is trying to make it a law not to put the true history of black folks, because they don't want us to know we did it all. God today, who did it all? Listen. Tom Cotton knows that if we tell the truth, he knows that their history will literally be whitewashed. What do you mean whitewashed? Because you're not indigenous to no place on the planet, including Europe. Y'all play too much. Well, Vicki, I thought you were talking about the fact that they were in Europe and stuff, and that the receipts show, history shows that that's what, yes, we allowed them. We drove them to Europe. Y'all ain't ready for this deep science right now. When you look at the word Europe, what's the last 4 letters of the word Europe? Y'all play too much. I need some intelligent black people to put it in the chat. What's the last 4 letters? It's a word in the word Europe. Okay, I got some. Okay. Pull up my device because y'all know I can't see. My computer it's stopped. It won't let me see everything. Rope. Because it was causing so much hell into that place now that they call Israel. which is a part of the throne land of Africa, was known by other names. Did you all know that at one time the whole planet was considered to be Asia? Not just the people that you consider to be Asian. At one time, the whole planet was called that. And that whole area over there at one time was even called Asia. But watch this. We permitted them to go to Europe, and we wrote them off in that area because they was causing so much hell in the Holy Land. Y'all ain't ready for that science, but I'm gonna leave it alone today. So that's why Europe has the word rope in it, because we wrote them off. We put you over there to restrict your madness, God, today. It was a mercy to put you over there with the snow and the mountains. But we're indigenous to all areas of the planet. You're not even indigenous there. We let you go there. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, thumbs up. I'm giving you facts. But Vicki, keep reading. Watch this, watch this. This is the reason why they don't want you to know the truth of history. Because it's going to lead to who they really are, what they really did, and who we really are. And that same, see, he wants to control the history books like they always have. Because Tom Cotton, how many of y'all learned about in school the Dark Ages? How many of you all learned in school that phrase, the Dark Ages? Somebody talk black to me. Let me see if I can see on my other comments, because y'all know I can't see it on the screen. In school, how many of you all learned about something called the Dark Ages? I did too. But they didn't tell you that it was the Dark Ages for white people in Europe, because they lacked civilization, literacy, and everything else. And it was those blackity black Moors and stuff. It was us. Somebody say it was us. Not 'twas a night before Christmas. I said it was us. It was us that came in. The blackness came in and brought light. God today civilized you. Told you to stop howling at these people's moons. Our moon. Today. Told you to get up off the floor. That's for the two-legged dog. For the four-legged dog. We told you to get up. Gave you literacy and medicine and stuff. Introduced you to soap and water. These are facts, family. They didn't teach you that in school. So they control what they taught us about the Dark Ages. They taught us about all this white renaissance that came up out the Dark Ages without telling us that it was dark for them. We blessed your life today. God, today. Somebody said these are facts. So Tom Cotton is trying to control the knowledge so that we don't know the truth. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Listen. What did I say? I left off on this. God, today I went off on a tangent for real. This ain't talking about that in the book. This is the Vicki book. Watch this. It says what? Just like we built the pyramids. So no wonder we can come here and build a whole other world. That's what we've been doing, is building worlds. And people have been lying and stealing worlds that we built. God, today. Are y'all hearing me? Now listen. It says black slave laborers built America's infrastructure. I already read that, right? Black slaves built the stately mansions that grace southern plantations and the grand churches and synagogues all over America. What two spiritual places did we build? Before people come to tell us we're anti this and we're anti that, we're anti this and we're anti that. Who built the synagogues in America, family? I know I'm doing too much. I can't even help it today. I'm reaching for people's skies. I'm slinging braids, curly braids all over the nation. I'm going to ask you again. Y'all send this to Simon Wiesenthal Center, the Anti-Defamation League, and some of those other lying wonder organizations that's mislabeling us and our people. I said, who built America's, not just the churches, but who built the synagogue? My goal is to give you the weapon of truth to fight with, family. Do you all know that the Holy Quran says that we herald truth at falsehood until we knock out his brains? Anytime they go to talking about that, you got to know to say, wait a minute, wait, whoa. In addition to the fact that we fought the Nazis on the front lines. God, today, didn't I tell you that our young black brothers, some of them even had their paperwork fixed, meaning that they were not even old enough to fight legally? So they forged documents at a time when they couldn't even pee in the same toilet, and they were under the foot of oppression because of legalized segregation and tyranny and torture and lynching. Still during that time, our people are so good-hearted that they forged paperwork so that they could fight on the front lines and kill Nazis because America said that it was our enemy. I did a whole show dedicated to black female officers on Memorial Day who served as officers, and they were humiliated and forced to serve Nazis who were injured. Them nor their men could eat in the mess halls with other white American soldiers. But white soldiers who had been captured were able to eat in the mess halls, and some were captured giggling with American soldiers, while the black soldiers who fought on the front lines couldn't. When they start running their mouth saying that we're anti this and anti that, you better check them and say, the devil is a liar. You better say, but we fought the Nazis. And by the way, did you all know also that Hitler killed black people too? Don't forget, Hitler killed black people too. The reason we don't talk about that a lot is because we don't control the history books. That's exactly what Tom COTTON is trying to do today. So not only did Hitler kill all the black people, not only did black folk, when we were still under legalized segregation, tyranny, and oppression, forged paperwork so that they could fight Nazis. Both men and women served. But we also built the places of worship. God, today. Your Yeshua, your Yeshua HaMashiach, your point of access to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we built them, baby. You better go sit your funny looking self down. Black family, when they start lying on our beloved Minister Farrakhan, when they start to try to crucify him and then attack, because don't forget, Jesus wasn't the only one of 2,000 years ago. That's the imagery that they gave us. Remember, I told you 75% of scripture is what? Prophecy. What did I tell you? I said 75% of scripture is what? Prophecy. So the main one, Jesus in the middle that we see, that they crucified, wasn't the only one crucified. Is that right? There were others beside him. So they're attacking others, black men. Watch this. They're attacking other black men too. Is that right? You've got to understand. Don't even get in the weeds about the lies that they're telling on them. All I want you to do on social media, I want you to tweet them and say, you know, you say that we're anti-Semitic. You say that we're all those things. I said, but what do you have to say? Y'all go to my Twitter page. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I tweeted out a video of their people, buddies and friends. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say it. And by the way, let me just give this disclaimer again, that the opinions that's expressed by me, Vicki Dillard, and the Vicki Show are not necessarily those of FlyNubianQueenTV.com or our affiliate platforms. So let me just say that. But I don't even need to say the name. But friends and buddies of the ADL, friends and buddies of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, friends and buddies of the Lion Wonder that is Jonathan Black. Is that his last name, y'all? I done forgot his name. The friends and buddies of Jake Tapper on CNN. Their buddies Don't even get deep when they're doing this. You can message them this. You don't need to get ugly. When they're starting to attack our black men, lying about that, and attacking black sisters, saying that we're anti this, just simply say, but you know what? You know Hitler killed black folks. What do you have to say about that? I put up a video on my Twitter page where we got them captured out there demonstrating against Minister Farrakhan some years ago. And they're saying, what do we want? They're white buddies. They're out there saying, what do we want? Farrakhan. Who do we want? Farrakhan. The other side, how do we want him? They said dead. Are y'all hearing me today? Go to my Twitter page and see the video footage. I want you all to ask Simon Wiesenthal Center, why is it that they're not asking their buddies, why have they been calling for the open murder and death of our brother, Minister Farrakhan? And then when you do that, I want you to say to them, we served in we fought the Nazis. Are y'all hearing me today? We need you to tell them we fought the Nazis. I need you to tell them we served in the war. I need you to tell them we built your synagogues. God, today, where the black people at? I need y'all to talk black to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Are you ready? If you're watching us on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please like, share, and subscribe and follow on the count of three. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing and make sure that you hit that notification bell, beloved. Don't even talk about the lies that they're telling. Just keep saying, we built your synagogues. We fought Hitler. We killed Nazis for y'all. Black women and men. We did that. You see what I'm saying? Hurl truth at falsehood. Watch this. Keep listening. I'm almost getting there where I want to go. Watch this. Because it's so much. We did everything. Watch this. What did I say? Black slaves built the stately mansions, graced southern plantations, and the grand churches and synagogues all over America. And we built the president's house. Because you all know he had that before there was a White House. And the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Whatever might be credited, the churches and the synagogues all over America, whatever might be credited to white labor was nonetheless financed by profits from cotton, Tom Cotton, sugar, and tobacco crops, all made possible by African slave labor. Somebody say, cut the check. You all heard Joe Biden's funny looking self say the other day that Donald Trump was America's first racist president. You all do know that he was saying stuff like that all the time in front of Barack Obama, and they were giggling together. Of course, Barack Obama, you know, he's biracial. So that jump out off of all up in him. That side of his mama. But he was probably giggling and laughing and just thought that was the cutest thing he ever heard. Are y'all hearing me today? What did I say? All of that was made possible because of African slave labor. Watch this. Watch this. I'm skipping down to another section of the book. Sugar to cotton. Sugar to cotton to oil. Whites gotta have it. That's the title of this section. Y'all listen to this a little bit and I'm almost done, okay? Can you give me a few more minutes? Thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Can y'all give me a few more minutes? And I do mean for real, a few more minutes. This section is called Sugar to Cotton, Tom Cotton, to oil. Sugar to cotton to oil. Whites gotta have it. Watch this. For 134 years, between 1803 and 1937, Cotton was at the very foundation of the American economy and its turbo-fueled industrial growth worldwide. Did y'all hear that? Listen. Listen. Indeed, cotton was to the world economy. Indeed, cotton was to the world economy in its era what oil is to the present. What's more, Western civilization was built on the sweat, blood, and tears of African men, women, and children who planted, cultivated, picked, and wrapped it into 200-pound bales. The race-based culture cotton created is at the very root of the multiplicity of miseries affecting Black people to this very day. It's hard to see this, but do you all see this picture of our people? £200 bale cotton. Do y'all see that? Look at the picture underneath this. Look at that. My God, today. Y'all see that? Y'all better say cut the check. And they want us to be nice about it. They want us to accept any and everything other than that. You got me messed up. Listen. The invention of the cotton gin in 1793, a machine that efficiently separates the seeds from the fiber, sped up cotton production 50-fold, instantly making it much more profitable and desirable. By the way, family, who invented the cotton gin? I just want you to keep that in mind too. While we were making all of America too. Just keep that in mind too. The miraculous fiber could be transformed into almost any type of cloth or garment and dyed in any pattern. It could be made into rope, curtains, upholstery, and clothing woven densely for warmth or loosely for hotter climates. And it can even be made to mimic fine silks at a fraction of the cost. Are y'all hearing me today? This is important for you to know all this information. I hope you got your babies listening. I know I heard from my brother the other day. He said he has his teenage daughters listen to me. I hear from so many of you that say that your children are listening. Your babies are listening. I told you even one mother said her little infant has a little toy hammer. And when the biggest show come on, her baby gets her hammer together. Oh my God, I got another testimony the other day where someone says that their 13-year-old autistic son, and I put that up on my Instagram page. Again, follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. But their 13-year-old autistic son, she says, loves it when I clap my hands and when I do my gavel raps. By the way, I'm going to do it for that baby right now. Those are just some of the multitude of testimonies and feedback that I get all over different places of social media. Even when some of them don't even know I can see their comments sometimes, or I don't get the chance to see all the DMs or to respond to all the DMs. As you all can understand, it can be overwhelming and difficult to access some of that. So that's why if you want to contact me in terms of a message, you reach me on my website at MissVickiTV.com under contact. That's MissVickiTV.com. But I see and hear these testimonies all the time. Listen, thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. I'm almost finished. But this is important to know, is my point. And your babies need to know this. It says that the whole world clamored to be reclothed in cotton. And that escalating demand put the Black man and woman on the auction block in increasing numbers, just as demand for sugar did generations before. One cannot overstate, y'all listen to me. One cannot overstate the value of cotton to the white world's prosperity and correspondingly cotton's direct connection to the destruction of Black civilization. Somebody say, cut the check. Tom Cotton. Mr. Cotton. Tom Cotton. I'm giving you the history of America that you're trying to restrict. I'm giving you the history of America that you don't want made known, baby. But we got other ways of teaching. Somebody talk black to me. One cannot overstate the value of cotton to the white world, its prosperity, and correspondingly cotton's direct connection to the destruction of black civilization. By 1840, cotton exports were greater than all other exports combined in America's 75,000 cotton plantations. I'm going to say that again. America's 75,000 cotton plantations. It says that America's 75,000 cotton plantations generated 3/4 of the world's cotton supply. Y'all, that's your mama and your grandmama. That's your aunties and your fathers and your uncles. And then you got certain funny looking Negroes out there that want to know why we go so hard. You got your funny looking bootlicks and bones and biscuits that say things like, we don't really need reparations. What you mean, fool? Biscuits, sit down. Reparations is not just about you, slowness. Slowness, reparation is not just about you. It's about those who are doing this work right here. Hush biscuit, white meat fried chicken. Watch this. The others were largely engaged. What was I talking about? 75,000 cotton plantations generated 3/4 of the world's cotton supply. At least 6 of every 10 Africans worked directly in cotton production. The others were largely engaged. 6 out of 10 Africans, right? So that leaves what? 4. So the other 4 out of 10, it says, were largely engaged in growing food, building housing for use by the cotton cultivating slaves, constructing roads, bridges, and ports for cotton shipping and transport, and tending the homes and families of cotton masters, cotton traders, and cotton businessmen. God, today. Moreover, enslaved Africans represented 2/3 of a plantation's family's total wealth. I don't think y'all heard that. Enslaved Africans represented 2/3 of a plantation's family's total wealth, with half of the remainder in the land they worked. A plantation family depended on the very labor of the blacks they enslaved for its total income, protection, and survival. A British economist calculated, should any dire calamity befall the land of cotton, 1,000 of our merchant ships would rot idly in dock. 10,000 mills would stop their busy looms. 2 million mouths would starve for lack of food to feed them. France was said to have been even more dependent on American cotton than Britain. The mega wealth of the Rothschild banking family was derived from cotton. The notorious investment banker firm, Lehman Brothers. How many of you all know about the Lehman Brothers in your day? Lehman Brothers began as cotton traders in Alabama. Cotton, wow, was the motive for the development of vast and expanding international web of politics, transportation, and communication, a global network that relied entirely on the forced enslavement of an entire race of people. The worldwide industrial revolution was financed by cotton profits. Did you all hear what I said? I said the worldwide industrial revolution was financed by cotton profits. And with the resulting demand for petroleum oil, the geopolitical focus shifted to the North African Middle East. That's in quotes. How many times have you guys heard me say the so-called Middle East during several of my podcasts? That's why I say so-called Middle East, because that's really Africa. Let me say it again. With the resulting demand for petroleum oil. No, I'm going to go back further. I'm going to read this again. The worldwide industrial revolution was financed by cotton profits. And with the resulting demand for petroleum oil, and I'm almost done, the geopolitical focus shifted to the North African Middle East, where today it remains the preeminent commodity, bringing with it the suffering, misery, and havoc long endured by the peoples of America and Africa, and now inflicted upon the indigenous people unlucky enough to live atop the vast, desperately coveted fields of black gold. That's just a little bit of it today. I just wanted to give us that little bit of information to Tom Cotton's funny looking self. So since your Senator, Lily White Senator out of Arkansas, agrees with the founding fathers and says that slavery was the necessary evil, I've given you just a little bit of information to show you why it's necessary to cut the check and give us our reparations. Are y'all hearing me today? We will not relent. You keep the pressure on Joe Biden's funny looking self. You keep the pressure on the Republicans' funny looking self, Donald Trump's and them funny looking self. We will not compromise on this issue, family. The whole wide world is blessed because of our labor. So I'm so grateful that Tom Cotton mentioned that. This man of sin that's being revealed. Some of you guys can't believe that they're saying it out loud. It's written that the man of sin, that mask of white civility is coming off. That's necessary in the day of the Lord. The question is, who is the Lord? The question is, how is God manifesting himself? Is God manifesting himself through a people who are the direct descendants of the supreme creator, the supreme being? The reason why I remind you, Black family, that it's a very painful time for us today. It is a painful time for Black folk. But these are labor pains. We're birthing a new world. And our world is not going to be based on white supremacy. It's going to be based on freedom, justice, and equality. And the skunk of the earth is on its way out off our planet that we have shared with the world. It's a new day. And I'm going to continue to talk about white supremacy and racism because we've not yet been seated on the throne. When we dominate sufficiently enough, perhaps then we can let up. But while we're at war, I can assure you, there is simply and absolutely, beloved, nothing else to talk about. So Tom Cotton, you can't have a name like Tom Cotton and invoke slavery and you not get some work. We understand, Mr. Cotton, why you fighting against the true history of Africans. But you can fight against it if you want to, baby. You're not going to stop this revelation and this knowledge from coming forward. You're not going to stop this army, this Black nation from rising. Cut the check, family. Send this link to all your political people. and keep the demand strong because we're controlling the narrative. Mainstream media is only talking about it because we're talking about it, but they're trying to talk about it so that they can control it, so that they can rename it, and so that they can limit it. They're trying to control it so that they can make mischief with it. How many of y'all got so excited when you were talking about some reparations they were talking about in North Carolina and some other places? They're talking about everything but a check. Beloved, if you ain't talking about land, property, and some money, you ain't talking about reparations. Let's be clear. The miscellaneous programs and stuff that other people can kind of get that doesn't specifically say for Black people. I didn't say for these other miscellaneous intersectional groups. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Meet me tomorrow, same time, same place. And sometimes I do happen to go early sometimes, guys, because of medical stuff. So still check out FlyNubianQueenTV.com daily to see if the podcast has uploaded. But more importantly, I want you to make sure that you subscribe, FlyNubianQueenTV.com, and that you hit receive all notifications, because I'm not the only queen here. And I don't want you to miss the other content by some of the other beautiful queens on this network. Again, dear family, if you're watching us on one of our other platforms, first of all, we're so honored that we're reaching the world in different ways. So thank you for tuning in, Black family. But if you're watching us on another platform where you share differently, make sure that whatever it is there that you share, that you follow, that you like, that you subscribe, and that you copy the link and let everybody know that the Vicki Show is on. Would you do that? I can't wait to see you tomorrow on clubvicki.com. Go to clubvicki.com so that you can sign up for the mastermind class where you can have access to me live and direct, answering your questions, dropping a few metaphysical gems. But when you come to clubvicki.com, come knowing that you're going to do and activate, take action on what you hear. It doesn't do you any good, beloved, if you tune in because I'm giving you a good word and you don't act on it. The principles that I share are important. They're universal. I'm not worried about if they work. I know they work if you do it. Are you hearing me? So if you're ready for that type of shift, clubvicki.com. I can't wait to see you there. And by the way, I think you can even sign up right now. They're doing a special for $1. You can't beat that. The starting is $1. So any and everybody should be able to sign up for starters. And I believe it will help your life. Black family, you're grown-ups. In the same way that you would look at your children, you tell them to do their homework, you want them to be responsible, you want them to do their chores. The same goes for you. If you are not disciplined, beloved, you can't be a part of the elite group. God, today, if you want something you never had, you got to do something that you've never done. If you want something that you never had, you got to do something that you've never done. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the introductory price is $1 right now. Clubvicki.com. 9 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. Are you ready? It's time for us to shift. Thank you so much. Clubvicki.com. Go to our store at flynubianbusiness.com if you want to learn how to build a Black business. And then go to flynubianmoney.com if you want to learn how to invest. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you on my Instagram page at Vicki X Dillard or on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. And by the way, let me just say this really quick. You all know that yesterday's show was pretty hot. Some folks said that the show was shadow banned and stuff. Some folks couldn't even see it for a while. But I know that it's up right now. That's not unusual for these funny looking platforms, to make mischief with my show in particular. But still, family, it's available now. So make sure that you share the link out. And it's also been shown on some of our other platforms, I believe. By now, I believe. I've received some interesting backlash because of the show yesterday that I did on NFAC and the Boogaloo Brothers, Boogaloo Boys, that white supremacist group. You all know I came in peace, I came in love, but there has been some interesting backlash just before and after. And I'm told that certain folk may be trying to reach out and so forth and so on, family. Let me just say this. I fear nothing and no one. My assignment is from the God. And so I'm totally his responsibility, and I can't stop and won't stop God today. And I'm not specifically saying names right now, but again, I'm moving in peace. I'm moving in unity. But whenever I give a warning for the Black family, it's in love. It's to bring us together. As I said before, I did a whole show bragging about NFAC in terms of Black folks saying, hey, we're going to stand for justice and that we're not just going to roll over and let our open enemy commit Black genocide. I was bragging about them and other Black militia groups before that. So my heart is in the right place, but I said, can't stop, won't stop. Just getting started. And I do everything in love. Again, I'm not specifically saying it's one this and one that. I'm just expecting unity and reconciliation, because a couple of you have said that you love me, and some of you all have said that that's not your heart. And so I believe the couple of people that have reached out to me so far. So I love you all to pieces. I just want to say that. And I hope to see you on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Don't forget, clubvicki.com, my mastermind class on Wednesdays. Mwah.